Have you ever experienced a miracle? A miracle is a very amazing thing that you cannot really explain, uh, a very rare event, a miracle. You read about miracles in the Bible, or religious people talk about it, sort of like a gift from God. It's such a rare, very crazy, unbelievable event. Has that happened to you? Or the opposite, uh, uh, a disaster, something terrible that happens. It's a disaster because it's very rare, so terrible. Have you ever experienced a disaster? I would say you probably have if you're alive at the same time as me. The coronavirus, that's a disaster, very rare, right? In Japan, the 2011 earthquake, nuclear meltdown, and tsunami. Right, those are very rare disasters. Well, those are bad things. Miracles are great things, but something equally rare. Well, think about any of those that have happened to you. I'm now going to tell you that actually miracles are not so rare, and disasters actually are very common. How do I know this? I know this because of the theory of a man named John Littlewood, who made a Littlewood's law. He was a British mathematician at Cambridge University, and he studies statistics. Statistics are numbers and chances of things happening. What chance that something happens, right? Well, Littlewood's law states that the average person's life, miracles happen about once per month, or you could say disasters happen about once per month. So it's not actually that rare. How can this be? I hear you ask. Well, think about it logically. He says, during the time we are awake, the average person, let's use me as an example, I'm very average. When I'm awake is about 8 hours, awake and being active and doing something and paying attention. Let's say it's about 8 hours a day when I'm aware of what's happening and I'm active and I'm doing things, right? In those 8 hours, every second, maybe one thing happens, right? If I really concentrate, I can notice one thing. This second, I can see this book over here. I can hear traffic on the street. There's a fly going around here. There is something happening every second. So how many seconds in 8 hours? If you do the arithmetic, if you do the maths, it's about 30,000. So in 8 hours, in one day, there are 30,000 events. What? Okay, and in 1 month, there's about 1 million seconds. So there's 1 million events happen that I'm aware of, that I notice in 1 month. Now, a 1 in a million chance of something bad happening, or 1 in a million chance of something good happening, means every month there's a chance for something like this, a disaster or a miracle. Really? Yeah. If you think about it, most of what happens during the day is insignificant, right? Unimportant. And even a rare event, something that only happens once every million seconds, means it happens once a month on average. Maybe 1 month there's nothing amazing happens, but then next month you get 2 amazing things. Really? So think about like disasters. If you think about he talks about the once in a 100-year disaster. You know, if you watch on the news, they'll say this storm was a once in a 100-year chance of happening. It doesn't mean it happens every 100 years. It just means there's a very small chance of it happening. So let's say a 1% chance of something bad happening. But there are lots of things that could happen, right? You could have 1% chance of a earthquake, a 1% chance of a typhoon, a 1% chance of a economic disaster, everybody losing their jobs, a 1% chance of pandemic, the coronavirus, right? So all of these things are happening at once. So it's unlikely, it's 99% chance nothing bad will happen of each one. But if you've got 100 different things happening, then there's a very good chance one of those will happen. You can't predict what it will be. But So we have to maybe get used to the idea that bad things happen every month, and also good things happen every month that you just cannot predict. So don't be surprised when something miraculous happens. Oh, it must be from God, or something terrible. Oh, it must be from the devil. No, it's just statistics. Do you think so? Let's have a look. Well, all of this is quite a lot to read through. I won't read it here. Maybe in class we'll have a look at it. But I got 3 questions. Okay. Number 1, what rare, what we call rare, unusual historical events have you experienced in your life? Were they miracles or disasters? Were they very good things that were very unusual, or very bad things? Number 2, do you think miracles or disasters happen about once a month? Do you think this is true? Could this be right? Number 3, if this is true, if actually miracles and disasters happen quite a lot, how could you benefit from this knowledge? If you believe this, then does that change how you behave? Okay, those are very philosophical questions, difficult questions. I thought I would throw in a grammar question. Now in this I've written, you can check in here, you can see the answer in here, but let's talk about it. I want you to consider which is correct grammar question. We've got A 1 in 100 year event, or B, a 1 in 100 years event. Which one is correct? You'll notice I've underlined the key part. One says year, one says years. 1 in 100 year, a 1 in 100 years event. If you want to do the grammar, have a guess. Is it A or B? I'm not going to tell you the answer. We'll talk about it when I see you next. Okay. See you soon. Let me see if I can stop this. Okay, thank you very much.